David, VENTO going around in the first, a newcomer known as Anilla when he raced in Australia, or trialled in Australia with Will Clarkin. How did you come to acquire this horse?
The stable in Australia acquired him, and he was so impressive in his trial, and then the team that bought him gave him to my sons, and we tested him at Lindsay Park, and we agreed that he looked pretty good.
What about his trials here? He looks to have had good enough gate speed. To your eye, have they appeared as good as they have been on face value?
Yeah, I think so. Look, we haven't really tested him. He wasn't as comfortable on the dirt the other day. Zach thought he felt better on the grass, which is probably what he's going to race more on. We're happy with him.
He looks like he's been pretty professional through those trials as well. Would that be a fair assessment?
He looks like he's got gate speed and he travels nice. But what I like about him, he's got a really nice, relaxed demeanour. So I think he'll be well suited to Hong Kong racing.
With that gate speed that he's got, is it just a case of just letting him jumping and running down the straight on debut?
Yeah, we just have him in a comfortable rhythm, and he's on the right side of the track, so he won't have to work too hard to be in where they all want to be on that outside rail.
Chad, good news lining up in the fifth race for Chris So. He won on debut and then was third last time out with the 131 pounds. You were on board. How did you feel he ran last start?
He ran well. He's still quite green and awkward in his races. As you saw on his debut win, he hung out and got on one rein quite badly, and he did it a bit with me last time as well. So I suggested to Chris maybe he tried the side winkers, which have gone on in a few of his gallops leading into tomorrow, and his work's good. He's a lot more true and straight, which is good, and he's a nice young progressive horse.
So you think that the cheek pieces will have a definite impact on Saturday, just with him being able to concentrate and focus?
It'll just help him focus a bit more and keep his mind on the job. But yeah, he's got a bit of ability, so he should run well.
He's certainly mustered forward in both of his runs so far, but with gate number 10, what looks to be a bit of speed in the race, is that going to be a little tricky?
Yeah, of course it's not ideal, but you're right, he does have good early speed. But we just have to sort of assess the race as the gates open and see where we can end up. With
the draw, 132 pounds from what he's shown so far, could he step up and be competitive on Saturday?
Yeah, I think so. He feels like he's got a bit of quality there, so he can definitely keep progressing through the grades.
Fantastic treasure going around in the Panasonic Cup Class 1. Of course, it's always a shame to see these horses unbeaten, but you must have been delighted still with the way he finished off last start.
Yeah, very happy the way he came back. Obviously over a distance too short. He was very strong to the line, and in another stride or two he wins. Yeah, it was disappointed he didn't remain unbeaten, but we couldn't help but be over the moon with the way he returned.
I guess looking back with the unsuitable trip, the extra weight he carried as well, if there was ever a time to be vulnerable, was that last start?
That's correct, and yeah, it was a winning effort without winning as well.
How do you believe he's come on since his 3-year-old year? He's 1185 pounds. How's he developed?
He's developed very well. He's a much bigger, stronger horse. Mentally he's good, and he's improving as he gets further into his preparation. He's ready to run a good race tomorrow.
You happy with his trial the other day?
Yeah, it was good. He wasn't put under too much pressure, and he attacked the leader quite nicely.
With one eye to the Classic Series, you know what it takes to win a 4-year-old Classic race, of course, with Singapore Sling and the Classic Cup. Is Fantastic Treasure heading in that right direction?
I believe so, yes. He's a horse with a lot of quality. He's a really good horse, so hopefully he can keep winning and head into the 4-year-old series with a nice sequence of wins under his belt.
Zach packing victory, you're lining up. He's 3 from 3 so far. How did you rate his last start performance? He looked like he needed a little bit of stoking in those early stages.
Yeah, he did. He's just starting to lose a little bit of his early speed. Not that he's had natural speed at any stage. I've always had to ask him to take that position, but he's just starting to lose a little bit more of that speed. So, the runners on the outside were trying to come across quite quickly, and I had to maintain my spot. So he worked early in the race, and then he sort of worked partway around the corner to take that spot outside the lead, and continued to gallop in the straight. So I thought it was a very good effort, but we come here with a heavier weight on our back now. That's not ideal, and some strong competition. So he's going to need to be at his best again.
Was he almost ready to sort of bottom out at the end of that race last start, first up?
He had a tough run, so he's entitled to be tied on the line, and he had a couple of nice horses chasing him, so there was plenty of merit in the performance.
How was his trial last week behind Golden 60 and his work on Wednesday morning?
Yeah, I thought his trial was nice. He just continues to tick over. He always trials well, and he always works well, so I'm looking forward to going back to the races, and let's just hope that he can keep going.
Running 1200 again, being by a reliable man, who of course was a Prix de Jockey Club winner out of a Lonhro mare. Is he going to get a little further with potentially one eye to the 4-year-old series?
You'd like to think so. The reliable man, not horses here in Hong Kong, have all sort of been sort of 1600 metre plus horses, and he's always given the impression that that's going to be where he ends up. So, I've no doubt as time goes on we can head down that path, but we're at 1200 this week, and we'll worry about winning this race first.
Keith, Birdsville lining up in race 9 for David Hayes, a PP who had some 2-year-old form in Australia. A couple of trials you've been on board for. Have you rated his trials?
The trial he had in Hong Kong was really good. The first one was okay and down the straight, but the second one was really impressive. Because when you work him in the morning, he was a pretty laid back type, was really relaxed. So the way he trialed really surprised me.
Meets a strong Class 3 field for his debut outing here, but from what he's shown you in those trials, what sort of run are you expecting on Saturday from him?
Yes, I think the top 3 horse, their form horse, they'll be hard to beat. But with the trial feeling he gave me, it looks like, and also the help of the gate, it looks like he can be also competitive in the race.
Karis, Schofield going around in the final race for Tony Millard, a Northern Hemisphere 3-year-old who had 2-year-old form over in the UK. How's he coming along?
Yeah, he's coming along nicely. We're learning a lot about him, and each and every trial he's been getting better and learning. So we're looking forward to taking him to races now.
Would it be fair to say he doesn't have a tremendous amount of gate speed?
He's a type of horse that we've been teaching him to switch off a bit. So we haven't really pushed him to be a speed horse. So I've watched a few of his races overseas where I've seen he has been on the speed. So like I said, we have been teaching him to relax, and I think we're gonna just ride him where he's comfortable on the weekend.
He's had a couple of trials over a mile on the turf. Is that just about Tony getting the miles into his legs?
Yes, of course. We thought those trials will just be the right trial for him to teach him a bit. And like I said, we feel like the horse is improving, and we just think now it's really the right time to go to races.
Gate 1, big weight first up. What sort of run are you expecting from him on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, it's a nice gate for him, of course. Because he's got the big weight to carry. He's still a youngster, and it's going to be a tough race. But like I said, the horse is in good shape, and I think he's ready to go.